But when you water fast, of course, you don't eat anything. You take in no food. You take in no food. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm actually going to be talking about how I lost almost 100 pounds in about 4 months. Now, I know that that's a lot of weight to lose in a really short period of time. It's not exactly the healthiest way to do it, but I've tried to lose weight many times, and each time I've lost my motivation. I couldn't force myself to keep going through with it, or I would lose a little bit of weight and then I'd just gain it back, and it wasn't really working out for me. Honestly, the only reason I really found the way that I did to lose weight was a friend of mine showed me this group on Facebook that was a water fasting group, and I knew a little bit about water fasting, but I didn't really know how people did it or how they, kept it going for long enough or did it frequently enough to lose a significant amount of weight. So this first picture I'm showing right now is about a year ago. I hadn't been introduced to water fasting or anything like that yet. I was just trying simple cardio, and I kept falling out of the routine, and you know how it goes. You just can't motivate yourself without seeing quick results. So this picture, I didn't really care about the way I looked. I was satisfied, I guess, with my life at this point. I hadn't really gotten to see enough weight loss in any of the attempts that I made to push to get to where I am today. I think my starting weight was about 260, 270. I was around that region. I was getting up there. So I actually got introduced to water fasting about the same time that I was going through a really tough breakup. And that's really what kind of motivated me to keep up with it. When you're going through a breakup that is coming from a significant relationship, or it's a breakup that means a lot to you, it's really hard to keep focus unless you set a goal to improve off of because of it. So the picture you're seeing now is actually the baseline pictures that I had taken at the beginning of this. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna make it all the way through with this weight loss attempt, but I wanted to take progress pictures and let that motivate me along the way. So as you can see, I'm a lot rounder, not super confident in the way I look. I think at this point, I was still around the 260, 270 mark. I was just a lot better at using angles to cover up the way I looked to other people online, and I was kind of just complacent with that. When I got into this, I had watched a bunch of people in the group who had videos up or who had posts about how they did it, and I was seeing a lot of motivation, but when you water fast, of course, you don't eat anything. You take in no food. You are allowed to drink water, and that's really it. Some people do take vitamin supplements as they do it, but if I was gonna do this, I was gonna go hard. So my first couple attempts didn't really go too well. I had started and of course not eating anything the first day, and then I'd wake up, I'd get to the second day, and man, I'd just be fucking starving. And I caved in quite a few times. I think my first really week and a half or 2 weeks were just a bunch of failed attempts. And I got into this really sad and not too great state of mind, basically just telling myself that there's no way that I was gonna be able to do it. I can't go that long. I have nothing that's motivating me anymore. No girlfriend, no further purpose. What happened to me is actually more on a really personal basis, and I had gotten into a situation where I didn't have anywhere to live for a very short period of time. When you're in those kind of predicaments, there's not really a whole lot of food that you can have access to, period. So I took this as an opportunity to give it one last try. And I was just hoping that, since I had no other choice, I would make it out of it. This is where I think that I did it in a more unhealthy way, because there are definitely a lot safer ways and a lot more beneficial to your body ways to water fast and go about it, but this is the way that worked for me. Of course, I don't recommend that this is how you do it. This is just the only option I was given at the time, and so it's how I went about doing it. So since I had little food to work with, the schedule that I'd gotten myself on was more of I would start my water fast and I would make it go for about 3 to 5 days. At first it was 3, and then I worked my way up to where I could start getting to 5. So I would water fast for about 3 to 5 days without eating or anything else. I would only drink water, and I was doing like a little bit, I wouldn't say cardio, but I was pretty mobile. I would walk around a lot with friends, or sometimes we went running. So that was really on days right after I'd eaten. So yeah, my strategy was basically to water fast for about 3 to 5 days. I would then break it and eat a small meal the day after. I would fall asleep on the final day, and then I'd wake up and I'd eat a small meal and go about my day. And then that was when my new water fast would start, after I finished that meal. I would do this for the rest of the time, just about that I was water fasting. I probably ate, I would say, about 2 meals a week at first, and then I got down to where I eat about 1 meal a week. But I was drinking a lot of water, and honestly, after about day 3, when I got used to it, it wasn't as hard to push myself forward and go, just drink water, don't eat anything, you got this. And once I started to see results, I got more motivated in this method of doing it. So this next picture you're seeing is actually my first picture into the water fast once I started to see results. I took this picture, and when I looked at it, I couldn't believe that my face was not as round as it was before, or that just even with these clothes on, my stomach didn't look as bulgy. This is really where I started to get motivated, and I was like, wow, I'm seeing results. Maybe I can do this. Maybe this is the time. So I continued on with the same water fast plan, the 3 to 5, eat, 3 to 5, eat, 3 to 5, eat. I did attempt some slightly longer ones. I think I did a 7, and I think I tried to go to a 13, but I don't think I made it that far. And I kept working at it until, well, here's the next picture. These were the first actual progress pictures that I had taken since I started my journey, because I wasn't paying attention as much to the mirror as I was to just surviving the day. And this is where I really noticed that, like, man, I've been working at it, and it's paying off. These pictures are actually from March, whereas I started my journey in January. So it had been about 2.5 months, because this was late March, and in about 2.5 months, I think I had lost about 50 pounds. This is when I was weighing in at about 190 to somewhere around that range. I felt like amazing. Not only was I able to get up and do more throughout the day without feeling tired, I was a lot more confident in the pictures that I took and the people that I talked to, and I just felt better overall daily. I saw these, and there's no way that I was gonna turn back after this, and I pushed myself to continue my weight loss and continue the water fast, even though I'd already seen pretty decent results. I wanted to push myself further and just see how far I could go with it without getting to a dangerous level where I lose way too much weight in a short period of time. And finally, this brings us to about April, where I had at this point lost near 100 pounds of my weight. I had went from the 270 range, wherever I was at the start of this, to about 175. Now that I've lost the weight that I've wanted to lose, I'm going to try and start building up more muscle and kind of regaining some of that weight back as a healthier look. But guys, my main goal was sharing my story and putting it out there for everyone to see. Even if you don't look the way you want to look, even if you're going through a really hard breakup, even if you're homeless, there's never a reason to not push forward. There's never a reason that you shouldn't be able to change yourself and get yourself in the position that you want to be in. I'm still not to where I want to be, but I'm gonna keep pushing and eventually I'll get there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It took a lot to bring it all together and tell my story the way that I wanted it to be told. If you know anybody that's in a similar situation I was in, just make sure you're there for them. I also want to thank all of my friends that helped me get through the time that I was in. I have the group of possibly the best friends that anyone could ever have asked for. Each one of them helped me so much, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. All right guys, until the next one. Bleh.